I don't know about you, but I'm sick of news about humans. It's time for animal news. Okay, we have scrubbed the interwebs for all the news about different species, different beasts, and we're gonna get into it. Sorry, as we were about to go live, my document decided to reset itself, but let's talk about some news. It's not all good news though. We have a little bit of bad news for a man in Florida. This is a man who mistook an alligator for a dog on a leash. He is expected to make a full recovery from the encounter he had with this 7-foot-long reptile. What happened was he was walking outside the Warm Mineral Springs Motel around 12:30 a.m. on Tuesday and noticed a dark figure shuffling around in some bushes. I know what you're thinking. It was probably Matt Gaetz. No, this is the second scariest thing that could have been the bush. He thought it was a dog attached to a leash, so he didn't move out of the way when the gator charged toward him. The gator then bit his leg and ripped off a piece of his muscle tissue. He was taken by paramedics to the Sarasota Memorial Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and he's expected to make a full recovery. This, Jordan, is what apparently just happens in Florida.
Yeah, I mean, I've got family there, and I've never seen an alligator kind of in the wild like that. But people always tell me it's just something you need to be on the lookout for. I liked going to Florida as a kid because they have like little lizards running everywhere, and I thought that was very cool. And I always wanted to catch them and like have them be my pets. That was a very unique thing about Florida. But like I never got to see an alligator. No. Probably for the best, but I wish I did.
Yeah, probably not. When I've been to Florida, I've seen iguanas just in the wild. I've seen manatees in the water. These are fine animals to see. But I honestly think the mark of a civilized place is whether there are animals that can kill you routinely just wandering around. Like in theory in California, there are bears, but not close. Like I can walk down the street and there's nothing that will kill me other than the most dangerous game, which is man. There's coyotes. That's a problem for my Chihuahua, but not for me. Florida is just not a civilized place. There are dinosaurs wandering around. They'll just show up in your kitchen all of a sudden. Nice, Florida. Anyway, I want to get to some more positive animal news. So let's turn now to Scotland, where a police was doing a routine check of a car and he found a passenger in the car that you might not have expected. It's an alpaca in Scotland. They put up the Forth Valley Police put out this tweet saying that they were conducting a road check and various vehicle defects were discovered along with some unusual passengers. Some of those engaged were more appreciative of our road safety advice than others. And I love this for two reasons, despite it being a story about cops. One, it features alpacas, which I think are the happiest animals on earth. And two, it's in Scotland, so I feel like the cops probably aren't as bad. But what do you think, Jordan?
I want to know where he's going. What's his deal? What's he up to? Yeah, I want the backstory. Yeah,
is he going to see a movie? Honestly, yeah, like I don't know about you. I've been in movies and had my view of the screen being occluded by someone's head. If it was that head though, I think I'd be okay with it.
Absolutely. I want to be in that car. I don't want to be pulled over.
Yeah, who has that life that they're just driving an alpaca around Scotland?
Yeah.
I don't know who they are, but they're cool.
This is my buddy.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get to optimistic tech animal news. We don't have a full animal for you, but we do have a part of an animal, and that is a pig's heart. This comes from Brett Ehrlich. It's what's called a ghost heart. So they created a scaffold from basically the shell of a pig's heart, and then like with a jelly donut, they fill it up with stem cells, and that apparently has created a heart that may soon be ready to be transplanted into humans, and that might last longer than pigs' hearts do, because of course they don't necessarily last that long after being transplanted, and be less likely to be rejected than pig-based hearts might be. So apologies to the pig, it didn't survive this process clearly, but pigs might be contributing something to people's health in the future. We need transplants, we need other organs, and there's really a limitation on that. Not everybody donates their organs. There's always waiting lists for these things, hearts in particular. And so if they can do this ghost shell thing with stem cells, Jordan, that sounds like a pretty good development.
No, that's really cool. And I think that means we're just months away from Brooke Marks finally having a heart. So, applaud the scientists and the researchers and everyone involved in this process.
Oh my God, that was so. You just burned her. You cooked her bacon. But anyway, geez, we're gonna put her on the list for one of these ghost hearts and see if she gets there.
Yeah.
We've got one more piece of animal news, and it's about animal identity. Okay, we're talking about bees because this news is that bees can technically be considered fish according to a California court. Now, why is this and why would this matter? Well, there's this ruling from a California court released just a couple of weeks ago, reversed an earlier judgment which found that bumblebees could not be considered fish under the California Endangered Species Act. Well, wait, why would this be a consideration? Well, because only certain types of animals can be protected under this act, and bees need it more than maybe anything else. We are rapidly running out of bees. Now, what the California Endangered Species Act was designed to protect, according to the actual words, and this mattered, was native species or subspecies of a bird, mammal, fish, amphibian, reptile, or plant. Notably, invertebrates are absent from the list of species, but there's a loophole because when fish were defined, they were defined as a wild fish, a mollusk, crustacean, invertebrate, amphibian, or part spawn or ovum of any of those animals. So there's a bit of language ambiguity there, but it's just enough for bees to slip in and be considered fish, which might be what they need to be protected in these difficult times for bees. What do you think?
Anything they can do to protect bees, I'm down, because they're like vital to our ecosystem. And I saw a lot of conservatives trying to conflate this with trans rights and trans issues. Like, bees are fish now. Yeah, Don Jr. did that, and it's just like the dumbest bar on the floor conservative joke. But like, no one's laughing when we lose them all and like our environment just collapses because they are like instrumental to the longevity of everything around us. So yeah, absolutely. Whatever we got to do to protect the bees, I'm game.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.